Okay, let's talk about something I think pretty much everyone has felt at some point, that really soul-crushing experience, pouring your absolute everything into something. Could be hitting the gym, training, studying, maybe sacrificing time, pushing yourself, and you just feel like there's nothing to show for it. We all hear that advice, right? Don't stop. When things get difficult, your goal is right around the corner. And sure, that sounds nice. But what happens when right around the corner feels like it's miles away, like it stretches on for days, weeks, maybe months, or even years? It gets incredibly hard to just hang in there, right? Most of us get that perseverance is needed. We know that. But what's often missing, what we don't really get, is how. How do you actually do it?
And that's exactly it. That's the gap, isn't it? The difference between knowing intellectually that you need to persevere and actually having a way, like a concrete method for holding on when things get tough. The source we're looking at today really highlights this. It suggests true perseverance isn't just about grit. It's more about, designing things, your environment, your routines, so that effort becomes almost automatic.
Right. And that's where our deep dive takes us today. We're looking at excerpts from The Olympian Mindset, Sustaining Success and Achieving Goals. Our mission here is to really pull out the practical stuff, the wisdom on how to truly persevere, how to ensure success. We're drawing these insights from someone who's, lived at that absolute peak of athletic achievement. And then translated it into a structured sort of real-world approach.
Okay.
So let's unpack this a bit. The source jumps right into that common frustration, validating that feeling, effort, no immediate reward. So what's its core argument? Why isn't just saying don't stop actually helpful?
Well, what's really interesting is how it sort of challenges the usual idea of motivation. Like, motivation isn't this finite thing you just have or run out of. It argues motivation is often a result of something else, a byproduct of a specific system of consistent actions. It really zeroes in on this fundamental human need, not just for that initial spark, the drive, but for the practical, repeatable steps to keep that drive going over the long haul. Which brings up a pretty big question. What if there is a system for this, something you can actually learn and apply?
And according to this material, there is, which brings us to Dr. Roddy Ferguson. He's the 2004 Olympian mentioned here, and he offers a structured approach. It's through a course called The Mindset of an Olympian, How to Make an Olympic Team. The source claims this course covers what it calls lifestyle imperatives. Okay, things necessary to make, and this is a direct quote, everything in your life work. It says applying these principles will take your life, your career, and your dreams to another level. And then there's this very direct claim, those who follow the program succeed. That's just the bottom line. It even mentions it represents $697 worth of training. So what does the source give us? How does it back up these pretty bold claims?
It suggests these lifestyle imperatives are kind of the non-negotiables, the fundamentals of how an Olympian lives day to day. Things like, disciplined sleep, strategic nutrition, meticulous time management, consistent self-checks, stuff that maybe seems small or gets overlooked. But the source really emphasizes these are crucial for peak performance anywhere, not just sports. The idea is if you integrate these, the results you want start to become a sort of natural consequence.
Okay, but what really makes this different? Why does the source put so much emphasis on Dr. Ferguson's specific background? Because, lots of coaches come from the school of hard knocks. But this material highlights his qualifications beyond being an Olympian, beyond being a world-class athlete whose view was sharpened, honed, and polished through real-world experiences and trial and error. There's more to it.
Yeah, exactly. And this part is fascinating. The source specifically lists his background. Former Fortune 500 company experience, academic excellence, and professional athletic experience. It's that blend, the source tells us, that sets him apart. It emphasizes he didn't bypass the rigors of the formal educational process. So his expertise isn't just athletics. It covers personal and professional development, lifestyle recreation, and transformation. It draws on more.
So you've got this high-performance background mixed with formal academic rigor. What does that mean for his actual method? How does he teach this lifestyle transformation stuff?
Well, if you connect the dots, his process for lifestyle improvement is based heavily on a tried and true process and theoretical framework, rooted in education, learning, and conditioning. So it's not just him saying, do this because I did it. The source emphasizes his methods are grounded in actual principles, psychology, learning theory, things like deliberate practice, habit formation, reinforcement applied to everyday life. It's presented as a systematic, kind of evidence-informed way forward, not just stories, a structured path.
And it sounds like this systematic approach has reached quite a few people. The source mentions he's worked with hundreds of clients over the years, ranging from entrepreneurs to professional athletes to executives and academicians. That's a broad range.
It really is.
Yeah.
Which raises another point, right? What's he helping all these different people achieve with this system? The goal described is designing, creating, and in some cases recreating a lifestyle that naturally attracts the best that life has to offer. Quote. And interestingly, it mentions he collaborates to do this. He works in the trenches with therapists, psychologists, medical doctors, personal trainers, chefs, strength coaches, teachers, and other professionals all over the world in creating this kind of holistic change. Makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many people are just missing that joined up, integrated support?
And he apparently delivers all these experiences in a no-nonsense direct style. Okay, so wrapping this section up, what does this all mean for you? If you're listening and you're interested in making a real change and doing the work, the source is pretty explicit here. If you are interested in change and understanding the mindset of an Olympian, then go no further. Dr. Roddy Ferguson is the person that you are looking for. So we kicked off with that really common, really frustrating feeling, putting in all the effort, feeling like you've got nothing to show for it, and just wanting to know how to keep going, the how of perseverance. And this deep dive has shown us one perspective, right? One that blends that elite athletic experience with a very structured, theoretical, and collaborative approach to changing your lifestyle. It seems to be about moving past just wanting to persevere to actually having a system for it, built on solid foundations.
Exactly. And that brings us to a final thought, something provocative maybe for you to chew on. If this mindset of an Olympian really is rooted in these lifestyle imperatives and a theoretical framework rooted in education, learning, and conditioning, what could that imply about what's needed for sustained success in, well, any part of your life? Way beyond sports or career, how much of real, lasting change actually comes from integrating all these different types of knowledge, practical, theoretical, collaborative, into a whole lifestyle design, rather than just, relying on sheer willpower alone? Something to think about.